Hello everyone, it's Leo and it's time to talk about episode 34 from wonderful PreCure. This was a Yuki episode, so I was bound to love it, but I was not expecting to like this episode as much as I did. I really loved it. I was so impressed with this episode. It was so adorable. And I feel like it embodies a lot of things that I like. So let's talk. So we have at the start of the episode we have a little interaction between Yuki and Mayu. Mayu playing with that cat toy that cats love, and we see Yuki like going feral after it, and then we see Mayu's dad arriving home after a while. It's the first time we see him in Animal Town, I think. All of the other times we saw Mayu's dad was him talking to Mayu through video chat. So this is the first time we see him in Animal Town, and he is in Animal Town because he's going to do an exhibition of pictures he took from wildlife. He is a photographer, and then we see Yuki watching Mayu's interaction with her dad, and she's like, oh, she's clinging onto him too much. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, this episode it might go on the jealousy route. Like, oh, Mayu is not giving me attention, so I will do something else. I will try to do. Thankfully, I was so wrong. So what happened is that in the next day, the exhibition is happening. We see the other characters attending the exhibition because Mayu invited them. So we see Komugi, Iroha, and Satoru. I still feel a little bummed that we don't see Daifuku in those situations. I hope we get to understand why Daifuku isn't part of those socials. But okay, like, I liked the little comments they made, like Iroha saying, oh, I am a little scared because it's such a grown-up thing to do, going into an exhibition. So, those little comments, they're fun. And when they go in, I love the passion that Satoru has through looking at the pictures because, Satoru is the one who likes animals the most. So I really like how they showcase his passion. And obviously, Nico-sama is the queen of it all. She's like, oh, he's a photographer. Oh my God. So he's going to have to take lots of pictures of me. And then she starts posing. The background changes. Nico-sama is written in the back. And then Satoru's like, girl, shouldn't you stay hidden? And she's like, oh my God, I just love Nico-sama so much. She is the biggest star. And I just love when we have those characters that are unapologetically stars, So I just love it. I just love how this is being with Nico. It's just being so much fun. Nico is being such a fun character every single time she's on screen. And then she was there floating, checking out the pictures as well. And then when Mayu's dad appeared, her eyes got so big and then she ran back to the bag. And we have a little dialogue with Mayu's dad and Mayu's friends. It's just to show that those people are her friends and she cherishes them a lot. The bond that they have now is really strong. And Yuki was watching and she was like, okay, Mayu is fine. Now let me do my thing. And then she goes walking and, she enjoys a day by herself in Animal Town. I like that because Yuki is kind of a loner. Every time she does things, it's for Mayu. And now she's doing something for herself. It's really nice that she's finally finding some time to enjoy her own company. And it was so good, her sipping some coffee, getting, I think it was tea, maybe, I don't know, a hot drink, and her face getting all red. The way she was at the cinema, she was stretching herself, smelling the flowers. She was just having some time for herself. And then she started wondering about Mayu a little later. She sat down on the bench. She started wondering about Mayu, and she was relieved in a way because she was always there for Mayu. She always needed to be there for Mayu. But after Mayu became Kirillilian, she was able to be there for herself. She was able to stand up for herself. She was able to be her without the need of Mayu, without the need of Yuki or anyone else. Mayu is now able to open up and to be herself in front of other people. And for that, Yuki is very thankful. I love it. And so I feel like this also helps Yuki get loose a little bit. You know, she does not need to be overlooking Mayu every single time. She can do other things. And that's what she does in this episode. She saves a little cat that was going to be attacked by a crow. And because of that, she meets a group of cats, a cat gathering that was happening. And she met them before, but she never really interacted with them. As I said, she is a loner, but now she needed to interact with them because she needed to find other cats who knew this stray, this little kitten. And she found this cat's mom, probably. And they were all there. And when she was trying to leave the gathering, the leader wanted to talk to her. And so she started sharing things about herself. And they all shared that like she is the poster girl of Pretty Holic. And she was like, oh, not really the poster girl. And then, you know, she started sharing things about herself, but she also started learning why they do the cat gathering. And she started understanding more of them as well. So that I feel like that is also fun because there is, for her to open up and to see what they are, to understand what they're talking about, she needs to give them space. She needs to want to understand them. And that's what she did. She is also opening up for new experiences. I love that. And then parallel to that, we have Zakuro. And I like how every time Zakuro appears, she stresses how much she likes Gaon. Zakuro and Torame, they were very late additions to Wonderful, and there isn't going to be many episodes for Wonderful PreCure to work with their personalities, so they have to stress certain things about their characters, and so they're stressing out this aspect of Zakuro, and I like her. She's very expressive. She is full of energy, and she's always angry. I like her a lot, and you know, when she sees all those cats, she thinks they're cute, actually. But then they are all angry at her, and the leader attacks her. She gets very angry. Yuki turns into human Yuki in front of the cats. The cats are all shocked. And Zakuro sees and she says, oh, you're a PreCure. And I kind of like that there is this kind of rivalry going on between them. It's like the second time they, you know, or maybe the third time if we stretch it a little, that they're having those solo moments. And we're keeping on with the idea that Torame is using eggs from Gaogons and from Garugarus to turn to Gaogons, and Zakuro is turning regular animals into Gaogons. And so she turns the cat leader into a Gaogon. Kurinyami is by herself. I love that they gave her a solo transformation in this episode because her transformation is the best. And then the other cures arrive and we start a moment in which they are trying to understand why, not understand, they're trying to think of a way of actually being able to battle or act against a cat, because cats are fast and strong. And so obviously Kurinyami looks at Lillian and she's like, okay, you are the best one for this job and you know why. You know your ability. And then we have Kurinyami volunteering herself to become this cat toy, and Lillian uses the Kirerin Kitsune to turn her into this cat toy. And girl, this was so funny because I just loved seeing Kurinyami's face on that thing. It was so funny. And you know, it was smart because all of the other cats, they were rooting for the cures, but then at that time they were looking at that cat thingy. It was so funny. Oh my god, I just love it. I just love when Wonderful gets a little more chaotic. It's so good when it gets like that. And, you know, Satoru and Niko-sama, they were having to hold back all the cats. It was so cute. And obviously, ultimately, because of the power of the cat toy, they were able to purify the Gaogon and turn the cat back into its regular self. After that, Niko-sama gave Nico energy and the cat was okay. We did not have the usual Niko-sama bank, even though it's very short. We did not have it. It was just a regular Nico animation here. And then they get to understand that Yuki was actually with the cats, and they get to see what Yuki's been doing because Mayu was wondering about it. And all the cats are very happy. They all get around Yuki and they are thanking her for what she did. And at that moment, Satoru asks Komugi, so Komugi should translate what they were saying. And they were all like saying, oh, this big sis, thank you, big sis, for helping us and saving us. So it's very cute. And we see that Nyami, or Yuki, now has friends. And that's a very cool thing. She opened up. And Nico-sama made an observation about that. Nico was watching that scene and she was like, oh my God. I tried making Yuki open up to me a lot of times and she did not. But with other cats, she did. Interesting. So I think the fact that Yuki did not open up to Nico-sama is that because Nico's interventions were not necessarily sincere. She was not really trying to make Yuki feel at ease or making friends with Yuki. You know, she was looking for something else. She was looking for information and not really friendship, you know? So I feel like Yuki noticed, and that's why she did not open up to Nico on other situations. But I loved that little Nico observation. Love it. And I also love the last scene of the episode with Mayu saying Yuki and asking her about the friends she made and the day she had. Because, you know, this is what friendship is all about. You don't spend like every single time of your day with your best friend. You have friends that your friend doesn't have. You have experiences your friend doesn't have. And, you know, what makes it so interesting is that at the end of the day, you will get together and you will share those things. You know, when we're adults, we spend a lot of time without meeting certain friends of ours. But when we meet for a coffee or to eat something good, to have a good time, we talk about so many things that happened in our lives. We share so many things. So, you know, it's those things that I find really, really good in this episode. Very, very nice. I loved episode 34. Anyways, this was my view on episode 34. Next week, episode 35, it's going to be a big episode for Satoru. I'm so curious to see what awaits us in next week. And I just want to say that I took a little time to post this video. I finally got back to my city. I traveled to São Paulo to see Mariah Carey, the one and only, the diva of divas. I went to her show. I was very close to her. It was everything. It was one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. And I've been to lots of shows. I love going to shows and concerts. And oh my God, I'm still like thrilled. I'm still living. I'm still thinking about like Mariah and her songs and her angelic voice. What the hell is that? Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I'm going to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very much for your support. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.